All right, so this next challenge is the second virtual lockpicking one. Just like the previous one, there is a little bit harder, but probably more intended way of solving the challenge. And there's a less intended, but a little bit easier way. So let's take a look. And to solve this challenge, we need to travel again. I already sailed to the Steampunk Island location. Now, one thing that I just realized as I was doing the recording for the videos, I think I discovered one of the Easter eggs. Yes. I was really worried because I was so focused, and this year there were so many challenges that I thought that I will miss all the Easter eggs, but I discovered one. So on the sails, and this is something that is pretty easy to notice, but you can see these little decorations on it, the boat on the sails, and I managed to piece together that this is tied to how many of the geese here at the Geese Islands you clicked on. So I already clicked 2, and this is a new island, so when I click this third one, then it should add a decoration to my sails. And if you click all the geese on all the islands, then your ship should be, the sails should be fully decorated. So I'm going to show this, and I will also mention this Easter egg or any Easter eggs that I accidentally discover as I'm doing these video walkthroughs. So I'm going to dock, and we're going to have a new narrative unlocked here. So this adds to the whole story, and we jump through some of the other locations in the other islands. So we still need to objectives, destination, we still need to unlock one here, and we skip the Film Noir and the Pixel Island. So Steampunk Island is pretty far down the list, but this is the order of the objectives. All right, so this island has its own little goose here. It's right over here. So when I click on it, it's kind of hard to navigate this version of the game. It says cluck cluck because this is the Steampunk Island. And if I jump out now, you can see that my ship sail was the sails of the ship was updated. They were updated, and now I have one more decoration. So as you discover the other islands, make sure that you click on the geese. But we're not exactly here for the Easter egg. So the challenge here is tied to this poor little elf, Bao, who managed to encounter a bathroom emergency. So this toilet is locked, and he intends to use it. So he's very, very anxious and asks for our help. In his dialogue, there's a reference to a YouTube video. It's a pretty good one from Helpful Lockpicker, I believe. There are some excellent resources out there on the internet about lockpicking. I do recommend the Lockpicking Lawyer, I believe is the name of the YouTube channel. That's also a really, really good one. And if you search for these locks after watching the video, so this is simulating the how to pick master locks, combination locks, and here in the game they call it faster locks. I'm pretty sure master will have a sudden uptick after this game. Everyone is ordering one of their locks to try this out on a real lock. I'm certainly going to do that later. I do plan to order at least one of these locks and give it a go. But here in the game, it's all virtual, just like in the previous lock. So clicking on the challenge will not have the same sort of tutorial that we had in the previous challenge. You just have the lock and you have to pick it. Now, if you watch the video, there's a pen and paper approach to kind of calculate the potential numbers for this lock. You need to kind of figure out three numbers for the combination. Each time, by the way, when you restart the challenge, this also resets. So just like the previous challenge, you have to make sure that you continue picking the lock in that session. Otherwise, you have to start over from scratch. And the video that they provide as a hint is pretty good, but I had a hard time kind of doing the pen and paper method. I tried to just, take notes in a notepad like I always do. And I bumped into what I was kind of searching and reading on this topic. I bumped into the one and only Semicom Cars page here. He has a calculator for picking master locks, and there are so many reasons why Sammy is my hero, but this is definitely one of them. And you just need to enter your free numbers. If you watch the video, we're going to look for numbers between 0 and 11 where the lock kind of stucks between two half numbers. You'll see that as I'm doing the actual locking part, and there's a sticky number. If you apply just a little bit of pressure, not a full pressure on the lock, then this number will feel kind of sticky. And I think, again, the virtualization of these physical locks is excellent. There's just one little thing that makes harder the intended way of picking it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to check those numbers without looking at the JavaScript code. And then when we really try to pick the combination, I don't want to go through all the different guesses. I'm going to use the JavaScript to display the right numbers. And you will see that even in that case, it's kind of hard to pick it. So we're going to sort of live debug the method of the pick. So we have this lock. If you double click on the lock, it resets. And to apply pressure, you have to use your mouse and kind of pull the lock like this. This is kind of hard to do, but because of this, I think it's very realistic. Like, you need to find the right amount of tension. Like, when you're looking for the sticky number, you cannot just, go all the way up. And you can see this tension status indicator here that now I apply full tension. So for the sticky, it's kind of between the red and the greenish, somewhere around here, like this kind of brown or like oil-ish green status is what we're looking to find the sticky number. So we're going to look for the sticky number, and then we're going to try to find so there's a resistant location here in the calculator, and then we're going to try to find the first lock position and the second one, and then it will find the combinations. We'll have a series of second digits, two possibilities for the third digit, and for the first digit there's just one possibility. And normally you would try all of them, but I don't want to make this video extensively long, so let's start with applying pressure here, and with the arrow keys I can turn the lock. All right, so I'm going to pull the lock just a little, not too much. And this depends on the browser. I find that in Firefox it's kind of easy to do. And I think I think the order, the direction rather, does not matter. So I'll just do left turns here. Oh, there's one. So see, I'm just holding the arrow key. I wish I had the idea to, before starting this video, to have a camera just showing my hands, just like real lock picking, right? But you can see that there is a constant turn that I apply, and when we hit 26, it slows down a little bit. So that's our sticky number. So I'm going to put this one here in the calculator, 26. Alrighty, I'm gonna reset this. And what we're going to do is we're going to start walking here from zero. Walking here from zero, applying a maximum tension on the lock. And what I'm looking for is not this. So this means that a 0 is not a potential locked number. I'm going to move here to like around half, so between 0 and 1. And here you can see that the dial moves between 0 and 1, so that's not a lock position either. Lock positions will move between half numbers. Okay, so 2 is not one of those numbers. 3 is not one of those numbers. Apparently 4 is not one of those numbers. Now, in real cases, the two lock positions shouldn't be near each other. Unfortunately, this implementation has a bug and it does allow it. You can still pick the lock that way. However, as you can see, now the dial moves between two half numbers. So 4.5, 5.5. That means the first lock position is a 5. And then I will continue, move the dial just a bit beyond 6 here. Trying to apply the right pressure. Okay, 6 and 7. They're good. I think this is also good. Yeah, looks good as well. There we go. 10 is the other fixed position. You can see how the dial moves between two half numbers. So I'm going to add 10 here, then find the combinations. So at this point, with this calculator, I should go ahead and keep trying these numbers. So 31 and then 1 and then 15 for the third digit, and then 31, 5 and 15 for the third digit, and so on and so forth. That will take quite a lot of time. And the third digit here, as you can see, can be either 15 or 35. So if I'm unlucky and 35 is the real third digit, I first have to try all these numbers. There are ways to eliminate some of these. So if they are next to each other, for example, but normally you would just try all of these. And that's the point where we're going to take a shortcut here. So let's do our favorite trick and check the JavaScript for this challenge. And the first thing that you will notice in this JavaScript as you work backwards is this lock numbers variable. So there's a lot of checking going for this lock numbers. There's first number here, guess number, third number. I have good news. If you just go here on the console and print out the values for this, I know it's kind of tiny, so let me see if I can zoom in here. Oh, there we go. This is much better. So you can see here that we have the actual combination. we're not going to look at that one. Okay, let's pretend that we're not looking at that one. But we do have the first sticky position, which is 26, and guess number 5 and 10. So we're correct. We should be able to pick this now based on our knowledge and the combination calculator, and just go one by one on the different combinations. Now, just picking a little bit, the third digit is 35. So we would need 8, and then what's the second number? 17. So what is that, like 13 different tries to get this one? And it's a little bit wonky how the way you enter the combination to this lock. So there's a description here, standard instructions for combination lock. So we need to reset the lock. That's turning it 3 times. Then just zoom in into this one as well. Stop at the first digit. So we need to do right turns, meaning that I need to apply the right arrow key, and then it's like turning it to the right. And I need to stop at, what is the number? I need to stop at 31. So I need to stop at 31. And then for the second number, I will have to do an entire left turn passing the second number, and then get to the second number, and then do a right turn until I reach the third number. This will probably take more than one try. And again, looking at the JavaScript value or variable rather called stage, if I can find it somewhere, let me just search for it. Stage. There we go. So stage has the value of 0 by default. Oops. And then 1. It can also have the value of -1, 2, and 3. These are for the different digits. So if you enter the wrong digit, but by turning the dial, it will change to -1. And the different stages are the different digits that you're using with the lock. So currently, stage, because I just reset the lock, is 0. I will monitor this variable to see if I'm doing this correctly. So first number 31, that's over here. So I need to get to 31. The speed doesn't really matter at this point. And here stage is still 0. As I start turning this to the left to find 17, and again, I need to pass 17 once. It will turn to 1. So that was 17, but I need to pass it one entire turn. And we're going to stop, hopefully at 17. There we go. So stage is hopefully, okay, at this point 1. And then I do a right turn and I need to go to 35. Hopefully this will change to 2 at that point. So 35. And then stage is, at this point should be 3 actually. Ooh, very good. All right. So this means if stage is 3, I can just pull the lock and solve the challenge. So this is the hard way. Now, as we were debugging using this JavaScript code, you probably figured out that, why don't we just do the following? So we have this stage variable, right? I just make sure that we are looking at the right context for iframes. So stage is 0, but what if I say stage is 3? Can I just pull the lock? And the answer is yes. Yes, you absolutely can pull the lock like this. Well, there was also the lock combinations variable. And let me just cheat a little bit because I can't remember the name of the function. Well, we can try to find it here. So there is also a function that does the final validation. Move lock to unlock position. So this one here is not only an animation, I tested it. So if you just invoke this function while doing the challenge, it will have the challenge solved. So this really opens the lock, and this is not just the final animation, but this is also the validation. So you can see the challenge result hash appearing here, just like when we used stage equals 3. So these are both the shortcut ways on kind of bypassing the lockpicking exercise. So we unlock one more piece here in the narrative, and we have now the second lockpicking one under our belts. I initially was not a big fan of these lockpicking challenges, but I do appreciate how well it was implemented. And if you're not feeling like solving these, then it's still a good challenge to look at the JavaScript code and just find a way to bypass all the pain and suffering that is associated with trying to pick this lock in the more intended way. Still, I think these are pretty cool and interesting techniques. Definitely, you will run into these locks every day. You might have a case where someone forgot a combination, like in this case, that was the scenario here, and you can help them by picking the lock and unlocking whatever location they would like to get into, like fast, like the little elf did. So altogether, I think the JavaScript and bypassing part is more fun than the picking one, but that one was very, very realistic, so I did enjoy that part. It really felt, even though it was virtual, that we're doing lock picking. So this is like the feeling, the kind of state of mind that you will have while doing this is very similar to what you would do with lockpicking. So cool stuff all around. The next challenge or series of challenges will be on Game Boy cartridges and manipulating Game Boy games, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just peek one more time. This year there were so many challenges that it's really hard to keep in mind like what was the exact order of them and what challenges we had actually. So yeah, 3 Game Boy challenges will come next in the rest of the challenge videos, and then some easier challenges, and then it gets real, like really hard. So see you in the next videos.